Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hemptress podcast. Today, I have Madison Pappas, who is the designer and founder of Daydream Swimwear, an indie swimwear and lifestyle brand that was conceptualized in Los Angeles and is now based in Miami. This brand is fun to be fun and hot to be hot. Madi, welcome to the Hemptress podcast.
Thanks. Excited to be here.
Love that. Okay, so today we are diving deep into all things hot girl, and that is going to start with swimwear and skincare. So Madi and I became friends a couple of months ago, and Madi has just served as an inspiration to me as the founder of her own brand that's been around for 4 years
now.
4 years now, and she has just made her lifestyle and her brand one and the same, and I think that's a really amazing way to run your life and to do something that you're super passionate about and curate something that you can bring into the world and offer that light and inspiration to other people. So let's jump right into it. The big topic that I wanted to discuss with Madi today is about skin, dating, trauma, and stress, which seems totally unrelated, but as girlfriends sit down and we start talking about things, and I have obviously been in the skincare space for about 3 years now and learning about holistically healing your skin. So the products that we're putting on our skin, and then also what we're putting in our body energetically and with our relationships. So one thing that Madi and I have had a very common and shared experience was when we were dating somebody and we were in a relationship that wasn't serving our highest self. We were experiencing pretty bad cystic and hormonal acne.
Yeah, it's true. It's all super connected. And I didn't even realize it until I experienced it. And then talking to other people that have been through a very similar pattern all the way through.
100%. And then Madi was very confident in sharing a picture of herself that she felt very vulnerable in on her 29th birthday, where were you just out of the relationship or were you still in it?
I was just about to get out of it.
She was on the brink.
I was on the brink.
On the brink of cutting out the toxic men and upgrading, right, in your life to like do something more productive for yourself and for your heart. And the thing that I love to talk about with holistic skincare is that your skin is a window to your health, and that's your physiological health, but also your emotional health. So what is our body trying to tell us? And if you are in a love relationship that is not serving your highest good and it's creating stress and that affects your hormones like cortisol and adrenaline and other stress hormones, of course, that's going to show up on your skin. And then in an even deeper perspective, I've talked to like different healers, and there's this one man out of Telluride. He's an amazing herbalist, and he was telling me about how your heart is supposed to have this divine relationship with God. And when your heart is suffering, your other organs will take on the stress so that your heart can like continue to have this connection with like the divine per se. So in like the instance of these relationships in your skin, your heart is like offloading to usually like your gut. And these meridians run right through the side of your face right here, where I'm sure girls that are watching, like, this is the spot for hormonal acne. And yeah, so I thought that was super interesting. It's like, of course, there are physiological symptoms, and it's all creating a snowballing physiological process of having breakouts and having acne, but it's like originating from your heart.
Yeah, and it's true because you can kind of talk yourself in or out of something, but your organs and your skin and your body, it's going to show you.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through what was going on with your skin journey. You were dating this guy, you had really bad acne, and then you started to realize, and what were the other symptoms that were going on? And then you had this like break free moment.
Yeah, so I was in a relationship for 7 years, and it was primarily great. Yeah, it was a really long time. But then towards the end, again, like I was trying to probably talk myself into thinking that I could still keep it going, but my skin and my organs were just, I guess, erupting. So within the last like 6 months of this long 7-year relationship, I just started to break out so bad. I got this cystic acne, and I'd never really had acne in my life, even as a teenager. So I was like, what's going on? And so I would go to the dermatologist, and he put me on some acne medication, but I really didn't want to get on Accutane.
Yeah.
It didn't seem very healthy. And also, like, I was 29 at this point. I didn't want to get onto birth control at 29. Like, it just wasn't really matching up for me.
For sure.
And my dermatologist was looking at me, and he's like, it hurts me that you won't get on Accutane. But I knew there was something deeper going on.
Your intuition.
Yeah, my intuition. So I was getting facials and everything, but nothing would really make it go away.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the same time, I was getting these like really awful period cramps. Like
I was going to ask about your period.
Yeah.
I was going to say, were you having really bad period symptoms?
It was all about at the same time. And I would get so nauseous on my period from the pain that I would throw up for a whole entire day. It was really unhealthy. Yeah. And this is the time when I had the cystic acne. And also my kidney was hurting. Like it was so strange.
About feeling safe, and actually.
That's so interesting because I felt not safe. I was like going from being in this safe, secure relationship to probably like going to be on my own, which was like very scary.
Right.
At 29,
Totally.
I wasn't used to it. Yeah, and I went to all these doctors and they said I had no kidney problem, which was weird because it would hurt so bad that I would also start throwing up, which is probably a detox. But so at this point I was kind of a mess. 29 with cystic acne and bad periods and a hurting kidney.
And you're getting out of a relationship.
And getting out of a relationship, it was really hard. And one of these times when I was having like throwing up from my period cramps, this nurse came. She's the head nurse of the Children's Hospital LA. She came to help me and give me an IV because I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days.
This is from your period?
This is from my period.
Oh my God.
And so I was asking,
intense, Maddie.
Yeah, I was asking her like, what's wrong? Because she'd been helping me like once a month when I had my period for the past like 5 months. And I'm like, what is going on? And she would give me my IV, and then my boyfriend at the time would come in and out. And every time he started talking, I would start throwing up.
No way.
I didn't realize this, but she was sitting at the side of my bed and she'd known him longer than I'd known him. So she was probably trying to like ease me into this, but she's like, do you realize you feel fine until he starts talking, then you start throwing up. And I was like, oh my God.
I have chills.
Yeah. And she's like, so the reason that your period is hurting you so bad is because when you're on your period or when you're pregnant, your chakras are much more open and you're having sex with a toxic person. So you're literally getting the toxicity, your kidneys, your period, your acne. She's like, that's why when a pregnant woman is out, like, and she feels something weird, you know, like you pick up on people's auras more. So if you're having sex with someone that's bringing toxic energy into your life,
it's your sacral.
Yeah, your sacral. That's how it's coming out.
Wow.
So ever since then, that was my big epiphany, my big realization. I was like, wow. So I knew I had to start breaking myself away from this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super insightful that she even noticed that.
Yeah,
that's like
she noticed that.
I feel like that's a blessing to have a girl come in and just like know what was right for you and help you get to the spot where you felt like you could see clearly.
Yeah, exactly. So what she told me to do then, she was like, just lay in the sun and do a sunlight meditation. Ooh. Just envision yellow sunlight absorbing your body, spinning all around you, filling up the room, filling up the town, the city, the world, and keep that bubble of golden light around you because you need to protect yourself.
Right.
So,
wait, I love her.
Yeah, she's like a nurse for children's cancer, and that's what she said.
Wow.
So it was very insightful.
That's super insightful. And then for those of you who probably or may not know what chakras are, your chakras, you have 7 main chakras. That is like your energy system. They're basically like wheels, and they each have a different energetic code and color. So your root chakra is like what anchors you into the earth, and that's your foundation. That's your safety. That one's red. And then your sacral chakra is all about, it's all about creation and life force energy, sexual energy. And that is like right where all of our female reproductive organs are. So
the area that was giving me a lot of issues,
a lot of pain. And that's like a very, I guess, of course, like it's a sacred space. Yeah. But imagine that you're with somebody that isn't healthy for you and your like energetic system starts to reject them. That creates a ripple effect and an impact on your physical health. And that's why, like, as much as this example is so painful to like think about that was happening to you, it's such a beautiful way to illuminate the connection between the mind, the body, and your soul, right?
It's true. And the crazy thing is I was doing all of these. I was on this acne medication for a few months. Nothing was helping. It was getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh yeah,
and then the last time that I ever talked to this guy, hung out with this guy, I never got another cystic acne burst. I've never even broke out since then. So that was when I realized, I'm like, I was breaking out from the stress, from the issues of this. Totally. So now whenever I get into new relationships, new talking stages, I look at my skin, I look at how I feel when I'm on my period, how my kidneys feel. Sometimes if I get stressed, I'll feel this pain in my kidney.
That's smart.
Or if I'm hanging out with a guy that maybe is not the best for me, I'll notice I'll have a bad period or if I'm hanging out with a guy that is good for me, no cramps.
You're like, look at my skin.
Look at my skin.
He's so good for me.
So like I'll notice if I'm talking to this guy and my skin has been glowing, I'm like, okay, this is probably a cool guy. or if I'm talking to a guy or a friendship and my skin is breaking out,
Time to let go.
I gotta go.
Okay, honestly, that was such a good segue. I was gonna go a different route, but I love the concept. And I was just posting about this on the Hemptress Instagram about only cultivating relationships that are in your best interest, that are positive, fulfilling, and uplifting. So, of course, and this makes me sad to say because women should always be like supporting women, in my opinion. But a lot of times women will feel very competitive with other women and men too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you ever have relationships where somebody seems like envious or not super happy for you when something amazing happens in your life, like in my opinion, let go of the friendships that don't serve you, because your friend should like jump up and down and scream for you when you accomplish something, when you have a milestone in your life, when you even call them to just say like, I had a really good day and this and that. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, I had a better day, or I did this at work, or I did that. It's like, let's really cultivate relationships where we empower each other and cheer each other on, and like to see you with your swimwear brand, and to be able to like, I didn't even mention, to wear your dress like so in cute. Public. This is one of Madi's designs, and I literally feel like a princess wearing it. I was walking on the street and someone's like, oh my God, that's such a beautiful dress. And I was like, isn't that great? Like, I'm wearing something that you created. You probably have on Hemptress on your skin right now.
For the past month, every day.
Love. But it's just like a good feeling. It's like we're bringing our energy, our passions, and our creations into the world. And to be able to share that with your family and friends and have everybody cheering you on is like really what you need. So if there's ever people in your life that you think that might be dragging you down, whether it's an intimate relationship or not, whether it's even a family relationship, which is a little bit harder, it's like take the good and let go of the bad. And if it's somebody that you feel like you've grown out of, I think there is no shame in letting go of people that you've grown out of. I know it sounds so scary, and it really is a cleansing kind of ritual, but it's like, imagine you let go of people and somebody like Madi walks into your life and you have this amazing, inspiring female friend that's like excited for you and like ready to help promote your brand, and we're exchanging creations and ideas and energy. And it's just like, that's what life's about. And that's what's fun.
Yeah, you have to really cultivate the people around you, because having girlfriends, meeting new girlfriends, guy friends, it can really advance your life, or some can really take you down. But totally. I think you should, reward kindness with kindness, and then disrespect with distance.
Totally.
So it's okay. And also you want to be your best self. So you can't really bring your best energy if you feel like people around you are taking you down, dragging you down.
Totally.
So if people around you are doing that, it's okay to distance and go bring in some new fresh energy.
Totally.
Because having a group of girlfriends, you can use each other's networks, contacts, connections, tips and tricks, even just talking about things like your skin or whatever you're going through. It's really going to help you.
100%. And that's why it's like, Madi had this situation with a boyfriend and her skin was showing it. And I'll tell something about, I had a relationship where my skin was freaking out, but just listening to your body about all of your relationships, I feel like is the really big takeaway, whether it's with a family member, whether it's with a friend or an intimate partner. It's just like, listen to what your body's saying. If you're feeling sick to your stomach, if you're throwing up. I have a girlfriend that, of course I won't mention her name, but she had a very long-term boyfriend, and near the end, she was like vomiting every day.
Yeah.
Literally vomiting. I was like, hun, oh my God. And I saw a picture of her on Instagram. I'm like, wait, you look absolutely stunning. You're glowing. And she goes, I broke up with so-and-so. Like, I lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
I stopped barfing. I'm like, what do you mean you were barfing? She goes, oh, no. I was like barfing every single day. So it's like, imagine that we sit here and we're like, what could be wrong? Like, why is my skin not happy? And it's like,
and if you talk to someone else, like, oh, I was throwing up when I had this rude guy. But yeah, and other girls, when they hung out with my ex, they would be like, I was throwing up nonstop.
What? Other girls when they hung out with you?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because I had one of my girlfriends was like hanging out with him for a little bit, like trying to make things work. And she was like, I just started throwing up, and I was throwing up for 2 days. And then she's like, there was another girl and she kept running to the bathroom to throw up.
Yeah, so that's insane. Honestly, I'm somebody that gets very blinded by love, and it's kind of nice when you have all of these signs, but also girlfriends. Like, your girlfriends need to be there for you. It's like, love is this, I don't want to say slippery slope. It's a beautiful thing. Everyone deserves to be in love. And realistically, love comes from within. And when you fall in love with someone, it's really just a reflection of the love that you have for yourself, right? So loving yourself first is super important too. But we all get ourselves in these situations. I have 100% multiple times. And you need your girlfriends or your guy friends or your family to be like, hey, that doesn't seem very aligned with your values. Like, are you cool with this or this or that? Or, hey, I'm barfing after I met your boyfriend. Like, just wanted to let you know that like he might be a little bit like not good for you. And it's like, we need those sounding boards and these people to make sure that we're on our best path.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, well, that's a little bit about skin, dating, and how it affects everything in your body. And the takeaway is listen to your body, listen to your friends, make room for good people in your life, and just like attract people that really support you. And with this whole like law of manifestation, or what is it where you like, when you attract people, what is that called?
The law of attraction.
Law of attraction.
Yeah, you want to be magnetic. So you want to magnetize what you're looking for. So whatever you're trying to call in, embrace that energy too.
Totally.
And also, you know, sometimes girls will be like, I want a rich guy. I want a hot guy. Whatever. If you're looking for that, maybe that means you want to be richer yourself. So focus that energy into your business. If you want a super hot guy, focus that energy onto being your hottest self, girl. Yeah, whatever you're manifesting, embrace that energy.
Wait, 100%. That was the perfect transition. Let's talk about the hot girl guide.
Oh, I love the hot girl guide. So I'm making some hot girl guides right now. It's kind of like a workbook/book where I give my favorite hot girl tips.
And a few of them, like the big categories are?
It's about love, health, wellness, being your hottest self, friendships, all of it, travel.
Yeah. And also just like reflection and having those moments to yourself to be able to write a few things down where you're like, am I my best self today? And how can I improve for tomorrow? Or like what you said, if you feel like you want a really rich guy, like be a rich girl, you know, like cultivate that money. And it is more empowering to, and of course, like partnerships come with, you know, like each person brings something to the table. But if you feel like you want a certain lifestyle, it's like make that for yourself.
Yeah, and embody the energy that you want around you.
100%. And another thing that I think that we both align on very strongly, especially since we've like taken this big leap of faith and this risk to start our own business, is to really follow your passions and like bring your passion into the world. And I know you wrote about that a little bit in your hot girl guide, right?
Yeah. I've always lived a very passion-filled life. I've been about doing what I want to do. And a lot of people have told me this is a mistake, whatever I'm doing. But I've really made a great life for myself doing what I want. Yeah. So when I was in high school, I just worked as a waitress and saved up all my money. And I moved from Northern California, Sonoma County, to San Diego, and I went to beauty school. I was obsessed. I really wanted to be a hairdresser. It was my goal to be like the richest hairdresser in the world.
And you're in like Beverly Hills, weren't you?
Yeah, I started in San Diego, and I was like, I want to be like the next Vidal Sassoon.
Let's go.
And then, so I was doing hair in San Diego, and then I got this great job at a famous salon in Beverly Hills. So I moved to LA doing hair at super fancy salon in Beverly Hills. I was getting paid really well. I was doing like celebrities' hair, CEOs, big Hollywood agents, and that just really exposed me to this awesome lifestyle, like where you can make your own life, make as much money as you want. And I was talking to these super powerful people, and like, you know, you hear like rich people are this, rich people are that. I saw these people that were like, had so much money, made these big businesses. They were really cool, and they were living the life of their dreams, and it was super inspiring.
Yeah. I think being around people that inspire you is super important too.
It is. It really is. So like, it's good to get out of your town, get out of your surroundings, and see something totally new. I never thought I would live in Beverly Hills, but once I was there, I was like, okay, this is great. And I really started to up-level my life from there.
Yeah. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Sonoma County, which it's in Northern California.
So you're a Cali girl. Like,
yeah, I'm a Cali girl for sure. Yeah.
Okay, and then you were doing hair. You're in Beverly Hills. You're seeing all this inspiration around you, and it's very similar here in Miami. Like one thing I love about Miami is everybody kind of has a side hustle. Like people just follow their passions here, and there's this whole entrepreneurial energy that we all like feed off of with, you know, your friends and your relationships. But similarly in Beverly Hills, you were inspired by these people, and then what made you decide to start Daydream Swim?
I'd always just designed clothes, like skirts. I like to make little like spandex mini skirts or whatever. I had a Chihuahua, and I was obsessed with Paris Hilton, so I would make it like little clothes. I'd like always designed little things like that. Wait,
you made clothes for your Chihuahua?
Oh yeah, when I was a teenager, because I was like obsessed with Paris Hilton.
We need to put those pictures up.
Yeah, it's like I'd always like dabbled in design and things like that. And LA was great for the industry. They have a whole fashion district where you can just go pick out the fabric, get a sample maker, a pattern maker, and the whole manufacturing. So I just started doing that naturally, and I was still doing hair.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so they just kind of.
And then how did you start selling? Were you selling in person? Were you direct to consumer? Or what was the moment where you're like, okay, this is fun. This is a hobby. I'm going to try to monetize it. I'm going to try to turn it into business.
Yeah, so I would sell a few here and there, and I would make some, and everything kind of like happened all at this. I had a whole bunch of things happening exactly 4 years ago, all at the same time.
Okay.
So around March 2020 is right when I launched my website. I launched my website on March 13th, 2020.
Oh my gosh, we all remember March of 2020.
Yeah, so I launched.
Good timing though for D2C, right?
I guess, but I launched like 2 weeks before COVID.
Okay.
So I didn't know COVID was going to happen, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, so I launched my business on March 13th. And then exactly 4 years ago, on like March 27th, is when I broke up with the boyfriend that was giving me acne.
Oh my God.
It was a big turning.
Wait, is today March 27th?
March 26th.
Oh, we're close.
I just realized it's close.
We're close.
Yeah, so I had a huge turning point at that time. So 2 weeks after.
Shedding the old, in with the new.
Shedding the old, in with the new. So 2 weeks after I launched my business, I broke up with the guy I'd been with for 7 years.
Let's go.
And unfortunately, I'd had the same best friend since I was 13, and I was now 29. She passed away the same day that I broke up with my boyfriend.
My God. No way.
2 weeks after launching my business.
Oh my God.
While I had this crazy acne. So this was like a really hard time. Yeah. So like 2 weeks after I launched my online business, I went into this like worst part of my life ever. So it was really hard for me to like focus on my business, focus on grieving my life, my friend, everything. So
oh my God.
It was such a crazy time.
It's so
and COVID
intense.
had just happened.
Dude.
COVID happened like March 30th, around there.
Totally.
Yeah. So I was figuring out a whole entire new life.
Yeah, totally.
Right around then is right when my acne started going away. And then
that was like one little sign that was like, I'm moving one step in the right
are, like,
direction.
Moving on. Yeah. So then LA had pretty much shut down. I was living in West Hollywood. I just decided to just go for it. And one of my friends asked if I wanted to go to Mexico with her. So we just booked a one-way flight to Tulum, and pretty much everything was closed down. There was
Except for Tulum.
Except for Tulum. There was a bunch of yogis on the beach. So I just went and started living my like digital nomad type gypsy life.
Love.
Yeah.
Which is a huge part of your brand too.
Exactly.
Is this like gypsy lifestyle and this free spirit and this just like following your joy, following your passion.
Yeah. So I went to Tulum and I put my bikinis in a few local shops there at some hotels on the beach road. I was teaching yoga and just like selling bikinis by the beach, like living this like basically hippie life after a pretty fancy lifestyle in LA, like very drastic shift. But I felt this weight lifted off my shoulders. I was like wow, I don't need that much to make me happy. Totally. Like I was so happy. I was living on the beach with not that much. I lived in a hotel for 6 months and I was just living life and it was amazing. And it was so cute. That was the first time that I saw people that I'd never met wearing my bikinis. And that it was a very inspiring time. So I had no plan of that, but I was figuring out how to run my online business, getting things in stores, and I was just figuring it out as I went.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, it was a very hard time, but looking back, it was like one of the greatest eras of my life.
It was a launch pad, and I'm a big believer in you are not dealt a hand that you can't handle.
Yeah, it's true.
There's everybody. We all have this hero's journey that we go through, and whatever it may be in our own lives, like what you just described, there are these cycles and these ups and downs and this darkness that you like emerged from. The darkness really makes way for the light to feel really bright.
It really does.
I genuinely believe like the darkness in my own life, which I've shared on the podcast before, it's like, it makes me enjoy like these moments, like sitting down with a girlfriend of mine and talking about our companies. It's like, it makes these moments so special because look at what we fucking did to get here. You know, it's like we put one foot in front of the other. Like, it sounds like you were in a very similar time where it's like, you almost felt like you couldn't move forward. It's like, how do I even like put one foot in front of the other? And then you were like cleansing, you know, there's this destruction energy. If our friend Nimi was here, she would call out Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
And she would say, Shiva came in and said, out with the old. And of course you had tragedy, which is absolutely so terrible. And may she rest in peace. Yeah, may she rest in peace. But like, you have this beautiful angel with you. You have this like energy moving you forward away from the old. And it's like, that turned into your business and your lifestyle that you have now. And I think that's just the most inspiring story. And that brings me actually to a good question. If you had advice for any woman or man or whoever that wanted to maybe start their own business and they were deciding, you know, X, Y, and Z, if this could happen in their life, what would you tell them?
First of all, just go for it. Have fun with it. And I'd start by a good brainstorming session. So like, what are you good at? What can you make money at? And figure it out from there. Money is very important in life. It's a spiritual tool. So you want to figure out what you can do to make money while not burning yourself out or anything. It is important to work hard and have a strong passion, but you really just have to go for it. You can learn on the way.
Yes.
One thing I learned is just launch the business. So my business, I could have honestly launched 3 months before, maybe even 6 months before, but I was taking all my time, trying to make everything perfect. No one would have even known the differences. And then I could have had that 3 months prior to COVID to work on my business. But I was perfecting it, putting it off to this one special date. For some reason, I wanted March 13th. And it was right before COVID, 2 weeks before. So I'm like, I should have just go for it, just launch it, just put it out there and see.
Totally. You know what? I actually, because I listen to a lot of podcasts where entrepreneurs like talk about their stories, and it is inspiring, and it is also like, as an entrepreneur, it becomes a little bit isolating sometimes, and that's why Miami is so awesome. And like, even the girls that are helping us with the podcast right now, like, this is their business, and it's so fun to support them too. But, you know, it's isolating sometimes to feel like, oh my God, like, I've invested so much time, resources, energy, money, all the things into your business. And it's like day after day, you're betting on yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that brings me back to what you said about your passions. It's like, what is going to carry you through that hard time? Like, there's going to be times when you're like, oh my God, like, what am I doing?
It's okay to like start your new business while you already have a normal job too, because sometimes that can create burnout or just too much stress if you have to only rely on this new entrepreneurial
100%
journey.
Yeah.
You have to really keep your nervous system regulated too during all of this. It's spiritual work is going to translate directly into your business.
100%. And I actually just had a recent experience. I returned back to my childhood home away from home, Telluride, Colorado, which is this like gorgeous spot in the mountains. And I just felt totally reconnected to my inner child and reconnected to the inspiration of nature, really. Like, of course, in Miami, we live on the ocean and we have that, but to be away from the world where there's stars shining in the sky and it's quiet at night and you just see mountains and there's not even an Uber, like you're off the grid. It felt like I was so close to my soul. It almost repositioned my whole understanding of like what it means to live my life in the most meaningful and like free way. Like, I value my freedom so much. And it's like, where does my soul feel the most free? And when you start your own company, it really empowers you to like go ahead and just do whatever you might want to do or you might think might be the right move. Like Madi said, she literally just was like, I'm going to go to Tulum. And then it was amazing for her business. She was in shops. Like, I'm sure that moment when you saw a random girl you never knew in a bikini, were you just like,
it's so cute. Yeah. I saw some girl dancing on a table in this sparkly kimono that I made. And I'm like, this is it. 100%. So that helped with inspiration. And it's good to like rewild yourself a little bit. Show your wild side, connect back to your inner child, and then that will also help show your passions.
Totally.
And to be on the entrepreneurial journey is a wild journey.
It's wild.
You have to be able to connect to your wild self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody, but for those that are thinking about doing it, I have some girls from Vandy that will call me back up, like girls that I thought of as little sisters, and they'll be like, hey, like, I'm at Deloitte, which everyone knows, amazing company, like worked so hard to get there. She's like, I'm miserable. I sit in this cubicle. All I want to do is like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, girl, do it. Like, what's stopping you?
We're really lucky to live in this age where we have Shopify, Wi-Fi everywhere.
Totally.
If you're miserable in your job, it's a good time to start thinking about what else you can do. We don't want to be miserable in this life. Enjoy it. It's such a cool world. There's so many options, and we're so lucky to live in this day and age where we can start a business and sell it on social media or start a YouTube channel.
Totally.
And it's really not that time consuming. Go for it.
Love. Wait, I love that energy. Okay, Madi, we have covered so much. And I guess the last thing I really want to talk about is, I was going to say Hemptress, but I have one other thing first. Okay, we talked about like quitting. Okay, so one thing that I think, well, before we put the entrepreneur thing to bed is, I would assume maybe for you, for me, there are some moments where you feel like, oh my God, like I can't go on and what am I doing? What is like the light that brings you through those moments?
Definitely fitness, spiritual practice, all of that. sometimes you'll just be feeling so stuck. And yeah, it can be isolating to be like on your computer all day.
Yeah.
Get up and dance, shake it out.
Okay.
Go for a walk.
Yes.
Talk to people. Just switch up your energy, change the whole energy, and come back to it another time.
Loving this.
Maybe if you're feeling stuck
that.
or your business isn't excelling, go find something else you can make a little bit of money in that's not so stressful to help you out. Entrepreneurship is having multiple ventures. So you don't need to stay stuck on this one thing. Even me, like I have my swimwear line, I teach yoga, sometimes I plan events. It's good to have multiple streams in there because you do really want to stay in your feminine energy, in your lighthearted energy.
Yeah.
And
grounded.
keep the masculine energy for the structures.
Yeah.
And then keep your feminine energy for the creativity.
Love that. That's awesome. I actually needed to hear that. So
yeah, connect with nature, call a friend, call your grandma, something like that.
I love that. I've actually recently I live in Edgewater and I live on a high floor, and every so often I'm just like zoned into my computer and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden it's like 2 PM and I haven't eaten and I'm just like, what am I doing? And then I'm like, go downstairs, like walk to the water, sit there. And I started doing this in the afternoon, I'll go meditate by the water and oh my God, it just is like such a good reset. And
take frequent breaks always.
Take breaks.
Especially if you're always on your computer, reconnect with nature, go see the sun, take a walk or something. Yeah, I used to be a hairdresser, so I would see people all day, talk to people all day, and I loved it. And then when I got home from work, I'd feel like I was at a nightclub because I just talked to so many people, was listening to music. So it's like so drastic, like
the
being
social
on
battery.
being on my only computer. I'm like, what am I doing? So I'll go work at a coffee shop or something, talk to someone random. Like, get dressed up kind of cute. Go to a coffee shop. Someone's going to talk to you.
True.
And maybe you'll meet some cool connections out.
Love. Okay, wait. I have one more girl tip. So one thing that I love doing, like you're just saying, is that if I ever had a long day at work and I don't feel like really like reaching out to a friend or making a real plan, I'll put on a cute outfit. I'll go to like one of my favorite bars, Pisti. So I'll go to Macchialina.
Cute.
Shout out Chef Mike. That's like my favorite spot.
Oh.
But I'll go alone and I'll wear a cute outfit and I'll sit at the bar and I'll just like eat my favorite food and just indulge in like the pure pleasure of food and ambiance and good music. And it's like, oh my God, you just feel like revived again and new. Like, I have this rule for myself where I never order in food. I'm like, I'm either cooking or I'm going out. Like, I'm not having an Uber guy deliver it to my house.
That's a good thing. Also, I tell girls, like, just delete the food delivery apps, man. They're like,
just get rid of them.
Just delete it. But yeah, I'm all down for solo dates. And I think my traveling, my gypsy phase when I was like in Tulum, Costa Rica, Europe, I would be alone sometimes. So I would just go have a meal and drink by myself, and I got really used to it, and it's actually some of my favorite moments.
Right?
Yeah,
totally.
Just get dressed up cute, go somewhere. If you see someone cool, smile at them. Yeah, like if you see a guy you think is cool, just throw a little smile their way if they're interested.
Little smile gets you a long way.
It does, really. If you see a cool girl, like talk to her.
Totally.
I love talking to other girls.
The
or
bartender.
Bartender. Like, oh, you look like you're in good shape. What are you doing for a workout? Like, like get some cool girl advice all over the world.
Love that, 100%. Okay, finally, I introduced Madi to Hemptress a month ago now.
A month, yeah.
And I wanted to know, because she's suffered from acne, obviously. So I wanted to know your experience with Hemptress. How is it with breaking out? And is it helping, etc.?
Oh, I love it so much. The first thing I noticed was the smell. It smells like cannabis. It's just so relaxing. Maybe my inner California girl is used to the smell, but it was like aromatherapy. Every time I put it on, I just feel so grounded. And my skin looks amazing. I've just been using Hemptress and a lotion and some like eye creams and a toner. And I have a really simple routine going right now. Before I was using like 5 products and I just simplified it. My skin looks great.
Your skin looks great.
Yeah. And also my skin is so sensitive. Like I will break out. I will get cystic acne. So I have to be very careful and use super clean things. Also, I don't like putting toxic chemicals on my skin. Mm-hmm. So our skin is our largest organ and we're not trying to pollute that. My skin has been totally glowing.
Love. I'm so happy to hear that. I love getting these messages from my girlfriends or people that I introduce Hemptress to. And everyone, it's funny because you do too. Everyone will like send a voice memo and they're just like, oh my God, I didn't understand like what it even was. And now it's special. Like, I'm glowing. I feel good. The aromatherapy. And it's funny that she says it smells like cannabis. I don't think it does. Everybody gives a different answer. I've heard chocolate. I've heard strawberries, raspberries. Someone told me nuts. That was weird.
We say whatever we like.
Literally. And you know what's the craziest part? Last night, I was like, I was like, I don't know what I think it smells like. And then I started smelling it and I was like, I think it smells like limes. It's like super weird. And then of course it's like a very natural oil. So it mixes with your own chemicals and hormones. And then it creates like a different aroma for every person. So if you guys are going to try out Hemptress, please DM us and let us know what it smells like, because I don't know, everyone has a different idea. And I think it's fun to
I highly recommend it. And I can't put anything on my skin that's going to give me those issues again, because that was expensive to get rid of, painful. I'm not going through that again. But Hemptress is the best. I'm obsessed.
Love. All right, Madi. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so fun, wearing your dress, sitting next to you. I was on a boat for a friend's birthday this weekend, and I put on my Daydream Swim bikini, and I actually felt like a queen. I was like, wait, I look so good. This is the cutest design. You had this gorgeous Italian fabric. So guys, definitely go check out Madi's Instagram, her website. She has beautiful, well-made, high-quality designs, swimsuits, dresses like this. So plug your stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Madi, MADI.SUN_ and Daydream Swim. So Daydream with 2 M's .swim for Instagram and Daydream with 2 M's.com.
Love. Yeah, follow her. Follow us at Hemptress on Instagram, Hemptress Healing on TikTok, and our Shopify is just hemptress.org. So we hope to have more of you guys joining us on the podcast in our communities at events in Miami, and let's all stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, we are back. We're back. We have more girl bosses. We're matching by accident, so it was meant to be. We have Christine here today, and she is the founder of Digital House. And I want to hear a little bit about your journey and what made you start this business, move to Miami, a few things.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure just to listen to your journey and your career now, and where it was, and the things you guys have been through. So I had been in the marketing world for a few years, started out as a photographer. Then I did some marketing and did freelance for a little bit. And then I was like, I want to host more creatives and kind of have a space where I can connect everybody together. So that's what it's been so far. And it's been amazing. Like I got connected to you guys, which is really cool.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't have known you guys without this space. So
Totally.
Yeah.
And a little backstory, Madi brought me to an event here where they were doing a launch.
Yeah, we had an inner social event here.
Oh, yeah, Inner Social.
Yeah, Inner Social is a great wellness community in Miami. They had a Pilates party here.
Totally. So plug Inner Social, plug Digital House. And then we found out that we can just film podcasts on this beautiful set in the heart of Miami. So anybody that feels like they want to film a podcast with a friend, with a colleague, whatever, this is the spot. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend. And
thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Christine.
you.
I need to check out your swimwear and your Hemptress.
Yeah.
I have Hemptress for you, so you can try it.
It's so good. It's like,
then you'll give
it's
me-
seriously
Oh
good.
my God. I believe you because you
No,
were,
it's
like,
serious,
your
yeah.
story. Oh my God. And
Cool.
I want to see how it smells.
Absolutely.
It smells
yeah,
like-
you'll
yeah,
give us
tell
the
us what you
report.
think.
Wait, hand it over. Let's see.
Hand
Let's
it
do a
over,
smell
girl.
test.
Live reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a smell
I
test.
love
You
it.
can
Oh, I
tell
love
what
this
people-
bottle.
Here, wait, roll up your
Isn't it
sleeves for one
gorgeous?
sec.
This is a really
Oh yeah,
nice
here's the
bottle.
product, everybody. Oh, you probably can't even
The
really see
cutest
it.
branding.
Josh, do you mind switching the angle to her?
You're like, wait, I'm off my podium right now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay, we're doing a smell test live.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
give me your hands.
Okay, very nice.
And then you're just gonna rub in here, Maddie. You go
Okay,
too.
I love how it's different on everybody.
Yeah, it's
Right?
different on everyone. I'm actually gonna do it too.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Okay, so
Wow.
imagine you didn't hear us all give our smells.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it smells like chocolate raspberries.
Chocolate raspberry. I get a lot of fruity chocolate.
Yeah.
That is
Okay,
so
let me see
funny.
what I
It smells like it smells like weed.
That's so funny. I have some friends that are like, I'm sniffing a nug.
I'm sniffing
and I have some friends that are
weed
like,
oil.
ooh, raspberry, like deep raspberry.
I love
Okay.
it. Like a little vanilla. I don't
Ooh,
know.
I get kind of like Palo Santo.
I feel like we smell what we like.
Vanilla. Is it earthy? I feel like it's kind of earthy.
I love. Look
I
at
don't.
shade.
I actually
right?
don't smell the cannabis though, which
I
is
either,
so
actually.
weird.
Smells like a big
Right?
weed bomb.
But-
It relaxes me.
You know how some people eat cilantro though, and it's like tastes like soap, and
Yes.
some people it tastes. I think that's what this
It's
is.
Yeah.
a genetic thing. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, everyone has to now do a smell test
How
at
cool.
home.
It's different for everybody. The experience. It's so cool. It's like the Glossier perfume. Like you know. Do you know?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, the Glossier perfume is like being known for like smelling different on everybody's skin.
Oh, interesting.
So
Works
I
with your
think that's a
pheromones.
Yeah, we'll get rid of the
Yeah.
synthetic fragrance though, and we'll use some more natural
Yes.
smells.
Exactly. And it's good for my skin. It's glowing.
Glowing.
Love.
I love
All right, people. Have a great day.
Bye.
it.
I'm kidding. Just say your name.
Joshua, JDF Photos.
He's the guy behind the camera. Okay, ready? Back of your hand. Okay, you have to
Do I
rub it in. Rub it in. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
It does smell like chocolate and strawberries.
Chocolate and strawberries?
Yeah.
Okay. There you have it.
You know, like the melted one with the strawberries. That's what it smells like.
Like chocolate fondue?
Chocolate covered
Yeah.
strawberries?
Guys.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it smells like. It's,
No.
it smells like Valentine's.
Oh, smells like Valentine's, like chocolate covered strawberries. Well, you guys know this is the Love Me, Heal Me line. And that does come from Miami. Remember Bodega?
Yeah.
I probably should cut that out, actually. You know that sign they have that says,
It smells good.
Love Me?
Yeah.
That's where I got the inspo. Thanks for coming. Amazing. Okay.